Shabbat Shalom, Kol Ami. Welcome to our friends here in the sanctuary. Welcome to our friends online. Good Shabbos. I want to introduce my Bima partner tonight. I want to welcome Shachar Wiener to Kol Ami. So let's give her a warm Kol Ami welcome.
Shalom.
Shachar is joining us tonight for the first time. She knows Dor and Rani, who you all know, and she has a gorgeous voice that she is going to share with us this evening. So welcome to the Bima. So lovely to have you. As always, welcome back, Lisa Edwards. And let us bring in Shabbat with some song. Let's sing.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יא לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Thank you so much. Good job, everyone. We're going to sing with her. Incredible. Let's welcome in Shabbat. It is a sacred gift that we have been given, that we get the opportunity to welcome into our lives and into our hearts each week. A time to pause, a time to take a breath, a time to change our pace. So it is my honor and pleasure to invite forward one of our past presidents, Rebecca Schurz, to help us light the Shabbat candles this evening. You will find the blessings on page 120, and we'll light the candles. I invite you to think about a kavanah, an intention that you might have. What are you hoping to bring into your hearts, to your homes, to this sanctuary, this Shabbat? And afterwards, we will sing together. We bring in the light to our eyes 3 times, holding that intention in our hearts.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Shabbat. Amen.
Amen.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Shabbat Shalom. Turn to someone. This is not your moment to get up and hug. I promise you that's coming. Just turn to someone seated near you and wish them Shabbat Shalom. So let us now welcome the Shabbat bride. L'chadodi is found on page 138. And as we sing this melody, I invite you to let Shabbat rest on yourself, rest in this sanctuary. I invite you to feel Shabbat coming in. Once again, the words for L'chadodi are found on page 138.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת ללכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה
Eyes and face the doors.
בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי כלה בואי כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה
Join us.
פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה
With your hearts full and our sanctuary full, I invite you to turn to someone, introduce yourselves, wish them a Shabbat Shalom, offer a consensual hug. Good Shabbos to all our friends online.
Shabbat Shalom.
So they would talk all night, but we have some more prayers to get you. So we invite you, if you are able to turn to page 146, we remain standing as we face the ark for our call to prayer, the Baruchu.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד, המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד.
Seated. Baruch, I'm on page 148, Mariv Aravim, which is our prayer that talks about the transition between day and evening. And if you take a look at our windows, you can see the beginning of that transition happening in the colors across the sky. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים, בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Blessed are you, Spirit of the universe, who brings on the evening. We think now of the oneness of our people, the unity needed for all people connected together. This prayer is the first prayer that we teach our youngest and the last prayer on someone's lips. So as we sing it tonight with Shachar, let us feel that connection with Jews throughout the world who may be saying this prayer this evening. For some of you, your practice is to rise for the Shema. For others, you may remain seated. I invite you to do what feels most comfortable for your practice. The words of the Shema are found on page 152 and 153.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem kevod malchuto לעולם ועד. ברוך Shem kevod malchuto לעולם ועד. Shema
We turn now to page 154, and we will chant together the Ve'ahavta, our prayer about loving that divine source with our whole being. The words are found on page 154, and I invite you to chant along with us.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. I'm on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say Adonai. There is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to your gentle spirit, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us, please join me in this paragraph, let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then we shall rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Please join us in our song of freedom. Mi Chamocha is found on page 158. So those of you who are regular Kol Ami attendees know that this next prayer will forever make me think of sitting in a giant sanctuary downtown with my children and many other people's children and teachers and sticky hands and shuffling of small children as we gathered in a circle on Shabbat afternoon, singing this prayer, asking for God to spread over us a shelter of peace. Hashkivenu is that prayer, and let us sing this together, spreading that shelter of peace over all of us. It's found on page 160.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
So, Rachel Goldberg Poland's book just came out. That is the mother of Hirsch, who was murdered on October 7th. And I've been voraciously reading this book despite the sorrow that is within it. I can't seem to stop, which is an interesting phenomenon. And so her words are flowing through my head a lot during the day. And she speaks in the book about the before and the after. And she talks about the joy of the before, of being with her family on Shabbat in Jerusalem, walking to synagogue all together, and how her beloved son would hold her bag, and how the family would not have smartphones on them, and how they would just sort of be in this transitional space between the rest of the week and Shabbat as they took their 20-minute walk to shul. And this next tiny little piece that I'm going to read before we say the Amidah makes me wish that we could all walk to shul together and spend 20 minutes together as a Kol Ami community, preparing ourselves to enter into this sacred space. So as we prepare ourselves to walk one another towards the Amidah, our central prayer tonight, I invite you to just invite in those loved ones that lift you up, that make you feel strong and connected and loved. And as you pray the Amidah, to feel that presence with you. I'm on page 163. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. I invite you, if you are able, to please rise in body or spirit for the Amidah.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך.
שכינה שפתיי תפתחי ופי אגיד תהילתך.
I invite you to continue praying the prayers of our tradition through page 180 or the prayers of your heart. And when you are done, you may be seated.
תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך.
Love having your voice and your spirit with us. Okay, amen is right. Abyssal Torah for you all. So, as I was rushing to hit the road today, a reel popped up on my phone. Clearly, my algorithm knows I'm a rabbi. We think they don't know about us, but it definitely knows. And this is what it said. Biologists, neurologists, psychologists, clergy all attest to the same fundamental truth. Human beings need connection. We know this. We learned this during the pandemic, how deadly it is for those who are isolated to be alone. We need connection. So how has our tradition conspired to encourage us to seek it out and to engage with others? This week's Torah portion, Parshat Emor, has something to teach us about connection. This week, we read about the festival of Sukkot. And it is during Sukkot that we are compelled to dwell in these temporary structures, these huts, or as they were translated earlier, flimsy booths. And this is to teach us that we too are vulnerable. And we're not only meant to dwell in them, we are commanded to live in them for the entirety of Sukkot. Not so many of us do that, but I will say when my kids were young, we would always have a sleepover out there. Usually someone would end up inside before the night was over, but we did make an attempt. This is to teach us that we too are vulnerable, and we benefit from finding gratitude for all that we have. We thank God on this holiday of Sukkot for our harvest, and we spend time in sacred community, inviting others to dwell together with us, sharing meals and laughter and songs, and building community. So in our modern lives, we often hide behind our digital walls or our professional masks. Creating a spiritual community is the act of building a collective sukkah, a space where we're not afraid to admit that we too are vulnerable, to rely on one another, to invite the divine in, rather than just relying on our own strength of hand. So the message of Sukkot, and you'll say, wait a minute, Rabbi, Sukkot isn't for a long time. That's true, but it's in our Torah portion, so don't worry. We have another one coming up. It's Shavuot. Don't get it confused. It is one of the Shalosh Regalim, but we'll continue to learn about that. The message of Sukkot is to build community, to not only thank the divine creator for what we have, but to build relationships, to hold one another up in sacred partnership. And yes, the human journey is one which makes us too vulnerable to loss. It makes us vulnerable to heartbreak and to isolation. And Sukkot reminds us it is that in those connections, in these connections, that we can reach the divine. It is in exposing our deepest vulnerabilities that we can connect and find support. So, two rabbis have an argument about something that has to do with Sukkot. So walk with me for a minute. Rabbi Akiva saw the sukkah as a physical hut. Rabbi Eliezer saw it as
the clouds of glory. Do you remember the clouds of glory? We're told that there are clouds that traveled with us as we were in the desert, and they would lift up when it was time to get up and go in front of us or around us or above us. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then land when we were supposed to stop and sit and dwell. So in our tradition, the clouds of glory surrounded the Jewish people on this journey. These clouds would protect the people. And the rabbis have a few different ideas about the clouds that I wanted to share with you about how many of them there were and how they protected us. So many artists feel that the clouds of glory were the first sukkah. So Rabbi Yehuda teaches there were 13 clouds, 2 on each side, above and below, and a guiding one in front. Rabbi Yoshia teaches there were only 4 clouds surrounding. Some others say 2, and others say 7. Bottom line, we as a people had clouds of protection guiding and surrounding us. They created our spiritual sukkah while we were making this journey. So what today is our version of the clouds of glory, Kol Ami? Take a look around. See the faces next to you. See those behind you. See those in front of you. Those are our clouds of glory. The people we surround ourselves with, this is our modern day sukkah, our spiritual dwelling place, where we can both interface with the divine and find support and connection. Just as the Israelites found divine shelter in the desert, we find a refuge and a safe space here at Kol Ami in our spiritual community. And we find it by investing in one another, by making friendships, by studying Torah together, by serving in leadership here, by coming to Shabbat. Judaism is a communal endeavor that we are compelled to travel together. And this week, in a conversation with a congregant, I found myself sharing about why we as Jews gather in community. It's because in a spiritual community, we can look around and see that there are others who have like-minded values and ideals that are walking alongside us, traveling this same spiritual journey. Shabbat is our weekly practice of unplugging from the day-to-day grind, the emails, and those things that see us as only machines of production. Shabbat invites us to spend time investing in our values, pausing, opening space to let God in. Shabbat is God's gift to our people, and this gift is one which we create. A palace in time, as Abraham Joshua Heschel so poetically penned. So it's no secret that Shabbat is just one answer to this deep human need of connection. And we have a weekly invite that comes into our inbox every Thursday night or Friday morning, calling us to unplug and to recharge through Shabbat. So tonight, Kol Ami, or this week, or this weekend, I want to invite you to reach out to someone, either someone new that you've been wanting to get to know, or someone that you haven't talked to in a while. That's what Shabbat is for connections with other humans. Don't be shy. Share your email or your phone number. Invite someone to coffee or tea or to go on a walk with you. Talk with them at Oneg. Get curious
about the person who always sits behind you or the one that sits on that seat to the left. Get to know a different member of our sacred community. You never know that if through that one curious and kind gesture, you just might help build a sukkah, a temporary dwelling place for God to be with us. Shabbat shalom.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם.
So with this peace embedded around us, we turn our thoughts now to those in our lives who are in need of healing. The list of names of those whom we are sending healing to from our Kol Ami community are on the screen above me. And I will bring my hands across this room and we will fill this space simultaneously with those names of family and friends and loved ones who we're sending healing to. And then we will sing our prayer for healing, the Mishaberach, which is found on page 109. I invite you now to fill our space with your loved ones whom you are sending healing to.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say Amen. מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with רפואה שלמה. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
is now my honor to call forward a member of our Board of Trustees, Yafa Hughes, to share some announcements with you.
You don't have to run, you can walk.
Good evening, good evening. Ani Yafa, Manishma. Toda. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Kol Ami, I welcome you to Congregation Kol Ami. Good Shabbos. We want to always thank our cantorial soloists. Come here, sweetheart. Isn't she wonderful? Yes, Shahar Weiner. Not a joke. Shahar Weiner. Shahar. I just want to know one thing. Are we going to lock her down for high holidays? Let's think. Let's get that a think. We can never forget Lisa Edwards. Thank you, Lisa. Travis Smith for making sure that everything is recorded so we know it did happen. Leonard, always taking care of us and putting out the good snacks. Thank you. And as always, Rabbi Lindy Resnick. We thank you. Please note, we always have some wonderful things coming up. Come and learn with us at Torah Study this Wednesday, 7 p.m. over Zoom. If you're interested, please register on your website. Join us also for a taste of the high holidays. Now, this is a 3-part Zoom class. I think we're on our final class. It's taught by Nancy Cohen, all the way from New York, bless her heart. We explore the music and liturgy of the high holidays, looking at the history, how the prayers develop, and reconnecting with some familiar favorites. I think I need my body double. No?
What do you need? What do you need?
All right, I'm good. Thank you. Well, I thought maybe you want to talk about the men of Kol Ami. Join the men of Kol Ami for a no-host brunch. That includes you. On Saturday, May 9th at 10:30 a.m. at the original Farmers Market. The group would meet in front of Dupar's Restaurant and Bakery. Please RSVP online, and we hope to see you there. Are women also included in this if you want to go? Yes? It's just pancakes, maybe so. Registration is open for a 6-week online group for those grieving the death of a family member or a special person in your life. This is led by Larry Levi, Temple member. He's a trained bereavement counselor. Please note, this is a support group, not a therapy group. These sessions will begin May 12th. Save the date for Kol Ami's Tribute Gala, Gold Records for the Silver Screen, happening on Saturday night, 12/18/2026. That's this year, July. This special evening will feature live performances by award-winning Jewish songwriters and whose music has been featured in major films, so mark your calendars now. I don't know if we will be able to sing along, but I think I may if I know the song. These and other synagogue programs help enrich our spiritual lives and develop our vibrant Kol Ami community. We cannot do this without the support of members and friends like you. If you'd like to make a contribution to our synagogue so that we can continue our holy work and our activities here at Kol Ami, just please contact our website, kol-ami.org. That's www.kol-ami.org. As always, we thank you for coming tonight, for being a part of Kol Ami, and for always joining us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yafa. Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach. Okay, I'm going to highlight 2 other things. Forgive me, it wasn't on your list, Yafa. Not your fault. Shavuot, the other shalosh regalim that we didn't really talk about tonight, but we learned about on Wednesday in Torah study, is coming. That is when we receive the Torah. And we're inviting you to not one, but 2 Shavuot experiences this year. So Erev Shavuot is Thursday, May 21st. We'll be gathering online with queer shuls throughout the world. And we invite you to join us to learn from and engage with a lot of queer Jewish community. Information is on our website should you want to register. On the 2nd, the Friday evening of Shavuot, we will be celebrating our Intro to Judaism students. So I ask you to come and be with us in person. They have been studying for 18 weeks, done some incredible work, some of our favorite people here. So please come and support them as they help us here on the Bima create a beautiful Shavuot experience. I am so grateful for them, and I'm sure you will be as well. So those are 2 treats coming up. Just save the date on your calendars. And since we are talking about Shavuot, we now go from the second night of Passover, counting upwards, to Shavuot. This period that we're in right now is a sacred period of spiritual counting. It is called the counting of the Omer, and we count for 49 days. The 50th day is Shavuot. Then we celebrate receiving Torah together. And if you turn to page 570, let's see if my memory serves me right. Amazing when it does. You will see the blessing for counting of the Omer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom is Eslim Vishmone LeOmer. It is the 29th. Did I get that right, Shacha? 28th. Oh, I think it's Eslim V'Tesha then. It's Eslim V'Tesha tonight of the Omer, because you usually count the Omer at night. Yesterday was 28th. I got my Hebrew number wrong. So Hayom Yom Eslim V'Tesha LeOmer, the 29th day of counting the Omer, and we are in a new week, and in this new week, the Kabbalistic Sfirot is Chesed Shebechod, and Chesed, as we know, is loving kindness. So we enter this week that is all about loving kindness, and Hod is glory. So tonight we enter loving kindness and glory, a unification of what we were talking about, building that sukkah, building that space of loving community, and letting that sacred dwell within us as we create kind spaces. So I invite you to reflect on that this evening. And now, if you are able, please rise in body or spirit for Aleinu. We turn to page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
I'm on page 595. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with the people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. I want to welcome back home with us Michael Sugar, who is mourning the loss of his beloved sister. And we've had a number of losses this week. I will first read the list of names of those families who are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or the first 30 days of mourning. And then I will read the names of those for whom we are saying Kaddish because it is their yahrzeit. Then I will invite any mourner amongst us to rise, recite their name of their loved ones, and we will rise in support of the mourners and say Kaddish Yatom together. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing always. For Susan Sugar, Stephen Michael Notif Jr., Jonathan Keynes, Joanne Knudsen, Dr. Myron Lappeman, Rodney Willis Blackburn, Amalia Levy, Nathan Davis, Becky Davidson, Dan Osborne, Richard Lank, Edward Wolf Salzberg, Liba Gomberg, and we add to the list of Shiva, the beloved husband of Todd Davenport, whom helped make our beautiful garden outdoors, and we send love to his partner. I invite you, if you are a mourner amongst us this evening, to please rise, and as my hand and eyes meet yours, to recite the name of your loved one. I invite us all to please rise in support of the mourners. We recite Kaddish Yatom together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei, be'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevrach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתאמן ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, Amen. So, as is our practice, which Shachar doesn't know yet, but we're introducing her to this lovely, warm community. If you're comfortable, I invite you to put your arms around one another. Let us together build that sukkah of peace as we sing Oseh Shalom together. Please join Shachar and me.
Oseh Shalom במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו
That was fun. Okay, my friends, if you want to come forward for Kiddush and Motzi and join me on the bima and say hello to Shachar after, please join us. Shachar means dawn. She sings like the dawn. Do you want to lead us? You can hold the cup while I do the blessing. How's that? Okay, friends. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen lechaim. Ooh, look at this one. Okay, friends. Are we ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Shachar. Thank you, Lisa.